like you do, like you do. It didn't come up. Yeah, there we are. We're on. Right. So what we're doing on a Wednesday, if you've not noticed or realised, is I tend to cameras over here, isn't it? I tend to interview people from the States, either musicians, actors, etc. So it's our little trip across the pond on a Wednesday. And today, it's something quite unusual and different for me. Gospel singers. And anyway, I'm going to let him introduce. Could you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yes, my name is Jimmy Henley. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina in the States.
Excellent. Well, yes, you would be, because that's where all the gospel singers are, aren't they? I mean, gospel for me, I like the sound of. I've never experienced gospel actually in the setting, but there's been some great vocalists come out of gospel, haven't they? You know, there's some real, some of it's mainstream, and there's a few programs that's out, reality TV programs like The Voice and things like that we've got in the UK and you've got in the US, and when you get some singers coming on and they go, oh, I've learned gospels, I sing in the church and everything, and you can just tell when they start singing, there's some real powerful voices. So,
right.
How many's in the choir?
You said how many are in the choir?
Yeah, do you have a lot or different people? Is it?
It's about 60 voices.
Wow.
In the choir, and the interesting thing about that is we're all family. We are all related.
Right, hence the name Family Fellowship Choir. Yeah, I'll see what you did there. Very good, brilliant. I'll tell you what we're going to do, because I've just got the track now, and I think we'll play the track, and everyone can listen to that, and then we'll have a bit of a chat about what you're doing, where you're going, what's the plans for the future, and all that. But that's amazing that you're all family. I thought that just related to being the church, and it's the church, it's the choir, and we're all family. But you're all family. That's even better, isn't it? Or it could be bad. It could be bad, depending on your family, doesn't it? Anyway, let's have a listen to this. This is called "When I See Jesus." It's just been remastered, redone. Have a listen to this.
To live holy, and I have learned how to live right. God has taught me how to suffer, giving up the right just to please the wrong.
Put your microphone on, Kurt. I think what we'll do, we'll just pause it there and we'll play out with the rest of it, because there's another 2.5 minutes of that. What a voice. What a voice. The lead singer initially, that very, very powerful voice. Beautiful. Very good singer. Very good singer.
That voice is my mother.
Oh, wow. I love it. Absolutely love it. She's got a really beautiful voice. See, because I like old music. There's, you know, I'm just adore music. It doesn't matter what music. Well, there's a couple of things I'm not really a big fan of, but for me, if the music's right and the lyrics are right and the vocals are right, then hey, it doesn't matter really what it is. You can get with it, and a lot of energy in that, a lot of power in that, and I really like it. I really, really like it.
Thank you.
She's got a great voice. Great voice. So I presume the rest of the family's got good voices as well, then.
Yes, singers. We have lead singers, musicians. Everybody in our family, predominantly everybody in our family is either they're musicians or they can sing.
I think
or they can do both.
Yeah, and you find that a lot when you find artists or people that are talented and they're naturally talented in that sort of thing. They tend to find, oh yeah, you know, you get people coming through and they become, you know, they become famous. And you go, oh yeah, well, my father used to play the piano, or my mum was a singer, or this and it comes out quite a lot. I don't know what it is. It must be something in people's DNA where, well, some people are good at carpentry, some people are good at sports, some people are good at singing, aren't they? You know, it's just something. Now, that's amazing that the whole family's singing as well. So,
Yeah.
so do you obviously, I don't know, I know in the States it's not as bad at the minute, but do you go to different places and tour or anything, or are you just based in what? Are you just based in one church?
Actually, we are definitely in different churches. Some of my family is in New Jersey. Some of my family is in Georgia. So we it's a collaboration of families coming together, in different states to actually do this project. We actually had a family reunion that weekend, and we just decided to record a single that weekend, and that was how this actual remake of this song came about at the family reunion.
Brilliant, because obviously when before the show, I had an old recording which was from the 80s of that, and I'm so glad we got that one, because that you can tell that's been done modern, done now. It's a lot better,
Right.
Family reunion there to do the sing. So have you got any plans to? Because you did have other tracks. Have you ever recorded any other ones, or did you just do that one?
Oh no, we have some. We released that one as a single, but we're going to release the other ones in another quarter of the year. With God's timing, we're going to release the rest of the music.
Yeah.
I think it was just more or less that we was putting this promotional single out.
Yeah.
Set us up for the rest of the album.
Cool. So that obviously I found that on YouTube. Are you going to put it on digital downloads as well for people to get as well, so they'll be able to get it off the general Spotify and places like that? Wonderful.
Yes, it's actually, I think it was on all digital platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, all of them.
Excellent. So go and check that out. Yes. What I'll do, I will share that video on our Facebook group as well, and in this broadcast, and I'll share the link to Spotify and what have you. But yeah, I think people might not venture into that sort of genre of music, and I think people should dip the toe into it and try it, because like I said before, there's some amazing voices and amazing talents come through. I think Aretha Franklin and people like that, that's their background, isn't it? I was looking before. There's a few artists. I'm dyslexic, so names drop out of my head, and I was looking at a few artists before, and I thought, I'm going to mention him. I mean, I mentioned Sam Cooke, I think. Sam Cooke from gospel. But I saw one of it. I was watching something earlier on, and he was actually in the church, or in his later time, actually singing, still doing stuff in there. So which is fantastic. Actually going back to where he's come from, really.
Yes, Sam Cooke, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston.
That's right. Whitney was on my mind as well. I was on Whitney, because you can tell by the voice. You can just tell by the voice. Right. And so, for the benefit of people that are not into gospel and not been in that environment, do the people that end up singing, do they learn how to sing like that? Does that make sense? Do people did they come as a young kid and then end up, or do they tend to be able straight away? Does that make sense? Is that what do you think? What's your experience?
I think that we're born with the gift, but church helps us cultivate the gift. Whereas, with us singing, every Sunday or, during the services and stuff like that, it helps us cultivate the gift, because that is your first, audience as it relates to actually being able to sing. Like my mother told me, we did a podcast, my grandfather started her off about 5 or 6 years old. Church, so, and that's where she started off at. So I think it's more or less that you may have the gift and somebody recognize that in the church, and then they help come in that church,
and that gets developed, because the sound comes through all the time. The same way of singing comes through. So there's got to be some sort of development, like I say, learning from your peers or your whoever's more experienced, which is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal thing, great sound. So well, like I said, we'll promote that and get out of there. So, is there any plans? So you're all in different states and in different places. Is there any plans to sort of come together and do that as one in a church, or you just do your own thing in your own environments?
Well, actually, we are actually planning a virtual concert where we're going to do a virtual concert, and we are, prior when the travel restrictions are lifted. We actually going to go back on tour again to as a family. So we're going to do a couple of tour days, but of course we're going to kind of wait until all this clears up. And I think after this, I think it's going to give birth to other projects where I feel like some of the art, our younger family may release a project, the younger age group, singles may come out. We have a whole lot of solo singers. So what we're praying that after this is just kind of allow everybody to sharpen up their gift and, whatever they, gift is. They're solo artists, we want to produce it, because generally I came as the producer for this single that's been released. So I want to work with, some of them as individuals, solo artists as well. So that's what we're hoping for, in the next couple of months or so.
Yeah. Because it's doable, isn't it? Like I was saying, going over old ground again. But if you've got that ability, that voice, you can then take that from the church, from the gospel environment, and bring it into a mainstream sound. Like the Witness and what have you, and then hopefully, to turn that into some sort of success as well, especially for the young ones coming through. That'd be good. It'd be really interesting to keep in touch and understand what's going on with them. And as they're coming through, you need to obviously keep sending us what they're releasing, because I'd be interested to hear that transition, that development with them as well from it. So that's good. Really like it. I'd say what we'll do. We'll play the rest of the track, and then we'll come back and have a little bit more of a chat and cover what you've sort of covered a lot of the stuff that you're doing, where you're going, what you're doing. But I think we'll just remind everybody what we're talking about. Wow, the legacy continues. It says at the bottom of the video. Brilliant. That lady can sing. God don't care who you are. If you say she can't sing, you don't know anything about singing. That's beautiful, man. She's really, really good. Give her a hug for me when you see her, because she's got
I sure will.
a silky voice. It's lovely. I love that. That is really good. Very powerful. Yeah. Lucky. You're a lucky guy to have a mum that can sing like that. That's all I can say. Your lullabies must have been beautiful. Hey.
Me in tears, man. Till this day, like people say they love to hear us sing, and I just be just as moved as they are. I never get tired of hearing my mother sing. Never.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be either. And I bet she's a mean cook as well. No, it's lovely. Honestly, it's nice. I mean, I'm not very religious or anything, but I get it, and I understand it, and I understand the faith, and I understand the gospel, and for everything. Whenever I see any films on the, I mean, I'm telling you my experience. I'm like, and I see anything when I see. And you see a scene where they go into a gospel and they sing a gospel, and I just go, and everyone's up and they're all dancing. I go, that's how you that's great. For me, that if I was going to be into it, that's where I'd want to go, because there's a sense of community. You're all getting together. You all look after each other, and I think we've lost a lot of that in with the church, because if one thing that the church does do, and it brings families together, it's a good support, and I think we've lost that to a great extent in the West, especially in the UK. It's not a big part of people's lives, and that's the one thing I think it does. It's a support structure and brings people together, and I think that's really powerful. Really, in today, we need that. People need that. So. Right. That's cool.
Definitely in these times right now. That's one of the reasons why we kind of released this song. I think it's about God's timing for us to release it, because truth of the matter is the legacy continued. The interesting thing, and we've been sharing this since February the 5th, that when we actually set to the release date, we had no idea that the man that passed it, the guy that had this vision for us to come together, he actually passed on February 5th, 2013. And then, so the release date was February 5th, 2021.
Right.
We had no idea that was, actually even set like that. But, and so when we release it, we just hoping that it encourage, uplift, during this time, this pandemic that we're living in over here, in this country, and in the world that's still dealing with the pandemic, that this would be something encouraging and uplifting during this time. Music has that ability to do that.
It does. Well, I'm going to play that on my breakfast show tomorrow, and that'll be the first time I've ever played any gospel music, but I'm definitely that's going on my playlist in the morning. I'm going to share that with everybody first tomorrow morning, because I think it is uplifting, and music does. For me, there's two, and I say it a lot, there's two things that connect people. It's food and music. If you get anywhere with it's right, isn't it? I don't care where you're from, what you believe, whatever, if you put a table full of food down and sit down together, well, you'll be fine. And breaking bread and all that sort of stuff. You sit down and chat, and you'll be friends forever. If you go somewhere and there's good music playing, you'll have friends as well. I don't know where it just breaks down all the barriers. Food and music. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you believe. Anything. Food and music. That's it. It's just for me.
Yeah.
And that's why I like doing it. Yeah. Well, I've got a radio station, but I like to cook here. I like to do my barbecue. I've got a pizza oven. Nothing more I like better than having 30 people round, family and friends, and cook and drink, and play music. And for me, that's perfect. Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, it's everything. That's brilliant. I'm like I say, I'm going to play that tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to listening to some of the other releases. I will follow you, and then as they come up, I'll share them with everyone. So
I really appreciate.
Not a problem. And what's the best place if people want to know a bit more about you guys? They want to investigate you more. What's the best way to connect with you and find you?
We have a website, FamilyFellowshipMassChoir.com.
Yeah.
Also, you can follow us on YouTube. Some of the, platforms. We also have Facebook Family Fellowship page, Family Fellowship Man Squire page on Facebook. So you can follow us on any of those platforms. And we keep you updated as our progress comes along with more music to come and, what the family's doing. You can follow us on those social media platforms.
Brilliant. Well, we've got a Facebook group, Dougie Stone Radio group. I'll share it with Yvette. If you've got any videos or anything's coming out, by all means, feel free to, because it's about music, it's about everything, it's for everyone to use. So feel free to drop any videos on there or any music or stuff that's going on. People are engaged with it, or well, they won't engage me. It's as simple as that. It's there for people to share. That what we try and do with the station is about bringing people together, sharing different music, identifying talent that's coming through, either being presenters or being music, and we just want it to be that place where people come and go, what are they talking about now? So feel free to drop anything you want on there. That's fine by us.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think I've asked and covered everything I've wanted to cover, and I think we know where you're coming from, where you're going to. Is there anything that I've not asked you what share with people? Is there anything you want to talk about?
During this time, continue to, as you was talking earlier, bring the family value back in core. Let's love on one another during this time and support each other. And like you said, whether it be through the music or through food, let's just come together and love on each other. We all need support, and we pray that when I see Jesus, we think of that song of people, that have left here, and that was a part of our legacy. And so what I would say, take this song, let it be encouragement to you, your family, to share. And you can get it on all social media platforms. And it's just that single, but we're going to release some more music and just continue our family. And so, we'll pray for yours, and let's celebrate, love one another, and let's continue to try to be a great support to each other during this time.
Brilliant. Well, you just stay there because we'll have a little chat afterwards, and we'll wrap up, and then I'll come back to you. So, Anyway, please go and find them, go and share them. We will drop all the links on here for you to go and find it. Go and give that song a play, have a listen to it, and if you've never really listened to gospel before, dip your toe in the water, give it a try. And I think, remember those words: food, family. Let's share it. Let's support each other, because we're in really crazy times at the moment, and do you know what? We all need each other. So until next time, people.